It is time for a bit of time travelling with Doctor Who Sunday. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters.
I crown you Queen of the Woke!
Let's chat about it. So, we are looking at the key to time over the next few weeks. Please do let me know in the comments section below what you think of the Ribos operation, which is what I am reviewing. A week late. I do apologise for that. I had a family emergency, but there you go. And the Pirate Planet will be out later on this afternoon as well. The Ribos operation is naturally the first instalment of the Key to Time, which was voted by you, the subscriber. Please head on over to the post page after this video to vote on the current poll, should you wish to do so. The Ribos operation was written by Robert Holmes, and I didn't know that, actually. I thought it was somebody else originally. And it aired on the 2nd of December to the 23rd, September to the 23rd of September 1978. Now, this review isn't going to be too long. I have intentions of piecing together all of the reviews and releasing it as one big one for Christmas. I've done it with all the other ones that have been sort of big episodic series, so why not do it with this one? The Doctor is looking to go on holiday with K9. However, he is sequestered by the White Guardian. Our introduction to the White Guardian. He is told that he needs to look for the key to time, which is disguised in 6 parts and scattered across the cosmos. He is given a detector and a new companion. He is also warned of the Black Guardian. In the TARDIS, he meets his new assistant, another time lady, who he nicknames Romana. Okay, and guess what? The time ladies do exist in Classic. Wow, we never knew that. Okay, together they go looking for the first piece. They land on Ribos and they use the detector to start hunting for the first segment. They have no idea what it looks like, and nor do we. They discover that the room contains the crown jewels, which is where the detector has taken them, and the Doctor begins to take the time to break into them. However, before he can finish, they hear people coming and they hide instead. Grifvinder K, a prince, has arrived on Ribos and he hopes that he would be able to get his revenge on his brother, as he was supposed to have been king. His plan was to buy Ribos from Garen so that he could train an army that he could use to retake his rightful claim to the throne. He later discovers that he was conned by Garen. He takes Garen, Romana, and the Doctor prisoner. Meanwhile, we are also introduced to Jethric, which is a very valuable substance and made up a great part of Unstov and Garen's story. That Jethric is mined for on the planet to make it seem like the planet is worth buying. The Jethric is planted in the area where the crown jewels are and is later removed by Unstov, who makes a break for it but has to go into hiding, where he meets Binro, or Binro the Heretic as he calls himself, where they have some wonderful scenes together. Unstov and Binro obviously move then off to the catacombs, where it is a little bit safer as Unstov is being hunted down by Vinder K and his men. The Doctor, Romana, and Garen all escape with K9 and also head into the catacombs. Garen steals the detector to use it to find Unstov, revealing that the Jethric is the key segment. Is the Doctor able to put a stop to Vinder K and retrieve the segment? I won't lie to you, the key to time is not a favourite of mine, okay? There's no reasons for it. It's just not. However, the concept and the ideas that go into it and behind it lead to some of my favourite Big Finish stories. So there is that adds that bonus to it. Do you like the key to time? Do you like it? Let me know in the comments section below. I have to say, I really do love K9. He's like a little secret Doctor Who vice of mine. Okay, I know. He's not everyone's favourite, but I've always loved the idea of man's best friend, in this being a robot dog for the Doctor. I know that the people working on the production found him a bit cumbersome because of the logistics behind him, but he is the light of my life in this story. I really do enjoy him. You actually see, though, at one point why they get so irritated with the design of him. He can't get over the TARDIS in part 3. He kind of hits the edge of the TARDIS and rolls back ever so slightly still. He is a hero in my eyes, and I always will enjoy watching K9. He's a lot of fun. Another light up with the screen is Mary Tam. There she is on the screen right now. You can see where Lalla Ward paid very close attention to her performance. You can see, obviously, she worked with her too, actually. You can see what Mary did through Lalla. Lalla does carry it forward. This version of Romana is fun, but instantly at loggerheads with the Doctor. I liked that. The Doctor did not want anyone smart like he was to rain on his parade, but he comes to the terms of the fact that he actually does need her for this. Now, with this story and the key to time itself, it does make sense to have another time lady. Okay, I am highly critical. Hands up, admit it, and you've seen it, that having someone with the same smarts of the Doctor as the Doctor does cause a lack of question. And of course, the companion is the eyes into the TARDIS for the viewer. We do get that with Romana, and we do get a great moment though. Romana is fresh from the academy, so much so that she does not know what Jethric is. So the Doctor gets Garen to tell her. It's an interesting bit of writing because normally the Doctor would be the one to tell her. But for the plot, I think it was important more so to have Garen to do it than anything else. So nice touch. I think that Mary Tam holds herself very well and dominates as Romana on the screen without upstaging Tom. She brings class to it. Not that Tom isn't classy, okay? Tom's very much Tom doing what Tom does at his best, I think. No one could steal Tom's thunder in this. And Tom is very good in this, no matter what my opinion of him is as the Doctor, okay? For me, in this one, with his performance, his comedic timing stands out. He has some wonderfully funny bits in this. He unusually pulls Garen in front of him when they're being threatened with execution, but then it's when the prince slaps him. Tom's mouth just drops open in feigned shock and disgust. So he slaps him back. I couldn't see what the object he used was, though. Clearly I couldn't see it. So if you know, please can you let me know in the comment section below. However, very well delivered, very funny. It was almost like it was an OTT reaction without it being OTT, if you understand what I mean. The Doctor has some brilliant smarts in this too, which plays into Tom's delivery strength. I like the bit where he hypnotizes the guard. That is very well within the reach of this version of the Doctor to do so. So I liked how that played out. It's also partly of what McCoy does, some of that, Later on, also when the Doctor has infiltrated the guards, he is walking into the catacombs with them, and you see, I don't know if this was directed or intentional, I don't know, but you see his scarf poking out from underneath his clothing because it's so long. Love it. That's funny. And in line with his crazy, crazy scarf. One thing I don't like, and I think that this plays into the recklessness of the Doctor towards the end, is Vindicay is very clearly starting to lose his thread. He loses all his men down there. It's almost like he's a tyrant who has a wonderful, colourful backstory, but has PTSD. Without saying he has PTSD, obviously. He tries to blow up the Doctor, but the Doctor switches the thermite pack. Have I got that correct? Thermite pack? I think it is correct. For Jethric. Whilst I love the craziness of the prince, I'm not so keen on the Doctor doing that. I would rather the Doctor try to save the prince. Was he beyond saving, though? What do you think? All of the characters that we have here in this story are not really surplus to requirements. They kept the cast small for this, and that's a really good idea for this particular story, in my opinion, due to the fact that they were kept small. They all had an integral role to play and some kind of extensive background for character development, which we don't always get in Doctor Who. And that's a credit to Robert Holmes and how he wrote this. Robert Holmes is a fantastic writer, really. Every character in this has an element that is tied into the story, and they tie it in very well indeed. Sorry, Robert Holmes ties it very well into the story. Vindicate is painted as a villain of the story, as the villain, but the wonderful thing about his character is that we have to question if he truly is the villain of the story. He is traumatized. He is a tyrant, and he wants to buy the planet so that he can build an army to get his rightful throne back. He is only doing what he thinks is right. He was wronged. He ends up losing everything, and it makes him go off the charts. Sorry. Does that make him a villain? I do wonder if he is. You can easily have sympathy for him because he was not even almost, he was manipulated by Garen and Unstoff. Goodness me, I'm taking this very seriously. But, it's got me right in the feels here. Could Garen be the true villain? I really adore the character. He is wonderfully witty, but he is a crook that instigated a lot of what happened here because he manipulated Vindicate into believing that Ribos was his to sell to him. Garen is entertaining, very much so. I will say that I did chuckle a fair bit in part 4 where he is hiding with Romana, and I don't think this is written into the story. I think this is just logistics of her costume. Okay, but his hood, Romana's hood, keeps getting in his face. He was doing everything within his power to get it out of his face without distracting too much as to what is going on. Now, obviously, I think I must have noticed that because, I pay attention to those smaller details because of the acting. I look at the acting perspective very much so. There's also something about part 3 that I don't quite like. It feels like at the start it's a bit of filler. I don't really like saying that. I just don't know why, but it does. There was also mention of ice gods. I'm guessing that was just there as a myth that they believed. It felt like a line that may have just ended up getting waylaid. It doesn't really matter, but it's just something that I noticed, okay? Another thing that I'm noticing a lot actually, and I bet this is why the Fifth Doctor loses it, is the sonic screwdriver is used multiple times. Tom's Doctor uses it a lot, I have noticed, and I think I will probably mention that more than once as I go on to review the other stories in this particular story arc. He uses it on the door, and I believe the crown jewels, that's too much. Get it gone, okay? Get rid of it. The makeup or the puppetry, it's difficult to tell what they actually went for the Shavender. It's pretty gruesome. I like it very much, and it adds a decent amount of fear to what is essentially a historical piece set on a different planet. The cliffhangers are okay in this one. Okay, the first one being the best, where the Doctor and Romana get stuck under the door. My question is, did any of the cliffhangers leave you excited or nervous as to what was going to happen next? With me, kind of. I have the advantage, of course, naturally having not been born in the 70s, of not having to wait. The wonders of DVDs. I don't have Blu-ray. I'm not very modern, sorry. However, there is one technical major cliffhanger that had to keep me on tenterhooks. Well, it's not really a cliffhanger. The story has a bit of an overarching plot. It was rare to have it back then, the most notable obviously being the war games. My favourite bit, which I haven't spoken about yet, obviously, is the beginning of the story. We have the entire setup to the overarching plot handed to us, and we are left, this is what I mean by the cliffhanger, okay? We are left to guess how they are going to find the pieces. That's the biggest cliffhanger of the lot, okay? And who the Black Guardian is, that's just as big as the pieces. The effects for the introduction of the White Guardian are my favorite part to this story. The echo on the voice is brilliant. The white bright light is brilliant. The introduction of the White Guardian thrills me more than it terrifies me. I actually really like the White Guardian and the Black Guardian, actually. Okay. You know that with that introduction, he is a very powerful being, and that you can tell when he speaks that too. You can hear it. Luckily, like the Black Guardian and some other villains, villains, excuse me, he is not overused and has not been seen on TV. Thank goodness, since the classic era. Okay, the true Doctor Who era, and that's a good thing. That really is a good thing. The setup is so mysterious as well. The key to time is a perfect cube, which maintains the equilibrium of time itself. That one line that is spoken by the White Guardian, had I heard it as a child, I would have been fascinated, even more so perhaps, and I would have been sitting there on the edge of my seat going, yep, 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 what he said. Okay. I get a lot of that with classic. But the idea of the Doctor going on a massive space-time adventure across the cosmos to solve pieces of the big puzzle with the threat of the Black Guardian enthralls me. It's better than what we get today, because in Doctor Who we would have the occasional series where it would be an overarching plot. Well, I say that actually it happens on quite a regular basis. Excuse me, I lied. And then it would go back to, oh no, sorry, in Classic Who, it's occasionally we get the overarching plot and then it goes back to regular storytelling, unlike today where it's constant overarching plot. Something's got to keep us watching. I honestly think that the classic way of doing Doctor Who is the best way of doing Doctor Who, and I understand that it might not be something that would be feasible to go back to, but a similar format might be quite nice. And the fact that he has a locator, okay, I have said, and I do apologize, detector twice. I'm very sorry. Locator. 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 I hope that makes up for the times that I've said detector. And that Romana has given him the call to the key to time. That suggests that this adventure was most likely going to be his dangerous one yet. Love it, really. Now, obviously, we will continue later today because I'm giving you a double dose with the Pirate Planet. All right. So please do let me know what you think of the Ribos operation in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching, and tune in at 4 p.m. later on today. Bye bye. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget you can join me on my other platforms as well. I've got YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, X, TikTok, Instagram, Locals, Substack, and I also have a Discord. Everything is linked below.